You are listening to Single Smart Female, Romantic Fairy Godmama Edition.
Today's show is brought to you by Lovesick.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand and have been there before. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your heartbreak and love sickness. Let us help you do that today at thelovesickcure.com.
Welcome, Single Smart Females. This is Gen 2, and I'm here with
Gen 1.
Ooh, very sassy Gen 1. I love it. And we have a topic for you today. Are you excited to talk about this today, Jen?
Sure.
Well, then we should just get right to it because I can tell excitement is just beaming from you. So today's topic is how to stop thinking about him. So this is something I think the majority of women experience, at least in your teenage years or sometime in your life.
Way beyond your teenage years.
Yeah, right. It's something that women can struggle with. And I'm excited to give women tips to stop this and to build a mantrage and create a dating adventures that they will love and cherish.
Okay, so this is something I haven't had to deal too much with in years, but it's actually something that you did have to deal with a little while back, and it's very challenging.
It's tough, but the good news is that there are ways to deal with it and ways to overcome it or stop it and to move forward in a better place.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to talk about is that before you actually do anything with it, you kind of need to analyze it just a little bit. What does it look like? Is this something that's been going on for a long period of time? So the last time that I had this, it did take me a little bit to get rid of it, but it was because I was contributing to it. And you have to analyze the behavior. Are you constantly checking your phone? Are you constantly checking his social media, his friends' social media, trying to figure it out? Those kind of things are going to prolong this process. So, but you just need to be honest if this is something that you're doing. Like every time you check your phone, be honest. Are you looking to see if he just contacted you?
Right.
Is it, or are you legitimately just checking your phone because you need to, or your phone went off? Are you, every time the phone buzzes or something like that, are you secretly hoping it's him kind of thing?
Or are you even doing, like, reaching out and contacting him yourself?
Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that. Yes, definitely. That's super, super important. Are you the one that's always contacting and reaching out? Maybe he does a little bit, or maybe he doesn't contact you at all, even, in return. That's a really good indication of how compulsive this is. And you have to just admit when it's compulsive. Don't be afraid of it. We've all done it. It's nothing to be super ashamed of. The only thing you need to do is recognize it. Now, if it's if this has been going on for a long time, or you find that this is extremely compulsive, then I want you to immediately go over to thelovesickcure.com so we can help you more in depth besides just a podcast, so that you can actually break this and give yourself space to love. I want to be very clear, ladies. In hyperfocus, there's no space for him to love you back or any other man.
Right.
So if you decide to stay there, you are really fucking up your opportunities with him and all of your opportunities with other men. So you need to make the best decision for yourself, which is to get over this shit. And you can. Okay. I'm not going to say it's going to be all roses, unicorns, rainbows and stuff, but you can definitely do it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the content of it and why it is challenging.
And I just want to encourage you, because it's going to be a choice. Like Jen said, it's not going to be roses and easy to do, but it's a choice where you say, I love myself enough that I want to give myself the best opportunity to love someone else and to have someone else love me. And that me being so focused and constantly wondering and worrying and thinking about him and obsessing about him, that I'm not choosing my best life here. And so you want to choose the best for yourself.
And again, let me make this clear. When you do this behavior and you let this keep going on, you are making sure that that relationship has no potential. None.
Yes.
Or any relationship for that matter, romantic relationship. So let me be very clear about that. I'm not going to sugarcoat that shit anymore for anybody because I've been there. I know I'm not going to make it pretty anymore. You need to understand that you're the only one that's cutting off any potential there. Okay? So let's go to number 2 of what we need to do with this. Second thing, after you analyze this and you go to the Lovesick cure, is that you need to turn your attention to the things that light you up in life. And so many of us have no fucking clue what they are because all we ever do is focus on other people. Okay? So start turning your attention. If you don't know what those things are, it's time to discover them. It's right this moment. That's the opportunity that is being presented to you. It's also a great time to connect with friends, family, and make sure you're doing it without incessantly talking about him. Okay, so this is something I want you to understand too. Hyperfocus, when you can't stop thinking about them, this is habitual. This is something you are choosing to do over and over again, and it becomes second nature. It's not something that's just happening to you.
Right. You're stepping into a habit, and the only way to break that is to make a choice to do something differently.
Mm-hmm. And to repeat that over and over again and make that your habit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So remember, hyperfocus is habitual. It ruins your chances at all at having what you want. It shuts men down completely. And the only way to start breaking it is by forming a new habit, one where you choose yourself first.
And Jen, it also, when you're talking about stepping into the things that light you up, well, while you're hoper,
I like a hoper.
I'm a hoper focused. While you are hyper focused on this gentleman,
can we be hoper focused?
We can be
hyper focused.
Let's choose it, or let's switch it up. Don't be hyper focused. Be hoper focused. I love those Freudian slips or whatever they may be. Anyway, when you are hyper focused on him, you are actually diminishing your light that shines into the world, and I just. You want your light to shine because that's just where all the good is, the juiciness of life is, So yeah, stepping into things that light you up is so important so that you can share the best of yourself with people.
So also with that, as we're changing our habits, because habit changing can be a sticky thing. And I remember the last time that I had this level, mine was actually, I would say, full on obsession. I started my Mantourage dating experience, and I'm going to tell you mine, that didn't go away completely, and I didn't realize I should have done a few other these things, but I was doing a certain level, and at least I had something. So one thing I want you to understand, though, is that you're not allowed to beat yourself up as if it doesn't go perfectly, because it might take a little bit for this to start to diminish because you've already formed a very solid habit of this. And so your mind and your body and your being is reacting to that solid habit. Okay. So
I agree. And it definitely does take time. It's not something you don't have the expectation that when you go from hyper focus to hoper focus that you're going to make the switch and never, ever think about him again.
Okay.
It's going to take time to change that.
Yeah. So don't beat yourself up for it. You're not going to keep doing all the other stuff if you think that you have failed. You're not failing. You're constantly evolving and improving. Okay. So keep going. Number 3, this is really important. Again, it's time to honor yourself, which means it's time to open up your options in men and increase the talent in your mantourage. Some of you are in hyperfocus and you're not dating at all. Okay. I get it. I'm going to say it's okay, but it's not okay. Meaning it's time to, again, put yourself first. It's not going to work with him in this hyperfocus. So you need to, and one of the most powerful things to take your hyperfocus attention off of one man is to open your options to other men and learn how to interact with men differently by mantourage dating. Also, some of you are like, but I am mantourage dating, Jen.
That's such a cute voice. I am.
And then I'm going to tell you How many of those guys are you actually excited and interested in? And that's the problem. What happens too is sometimes we'll go through the motions of mentourage dating. And you're telling me, like, you're giving me lip service, Jen, I'm doing it. It doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. You're going out with men who aren't really high quality men and using that to justify keeping your mind on him. Right. Or you're, or here's another one. You're focused on how these guys could never live up to him instead of focusing on what you like about these new gentlemen and appreciating what you like about these new gentlemen, learning to enjoy yourself no matter what.
Agreed. When we're talking about opening our options to new men, it is true when you are hyper-focused on a guy, when you can't stop thinking about him, you see all these qualities about him, but there are millions of men in the world. And it is my belief that there is more than one man that could be your forever man, that there could be thousands of men that you could connect
There's
to.
At least 1,000 for every woman.
Exactly.
At least.
And think about the variety of men that are out there. I mean, we're talking men who speak several languages, men doing things that could open up your world and your life and all, going on yachts. I don't know.
Okay. I need to backtrack. There's at least 1,000 for every adored woman.
Okay. Right.
I don't want to listen to everybody come tell me, oh, the stats are this. I don't give a shit about the damn stats.
Right.
I really don't. I'm never going to. For an adored woman, there's at least 1,000.
And we can also all agree that if you have been a woman who has hyper-focused on a man, this probably isn't the first man you've hyper-focused on either.
No, you'll do it again. So you got to start to break this damn habit.
So if you know that there's been 10 men in your life that you've hyper-focused on, well, that's 10 men that you thought you could never get over and you could never move past, right? Yeah. So there's always another
You've
one.
already discounted your own theory.
Right.
There was something I wanted to mention about this, and I have completely forgotten.
Oh, shoot.
Damn it. Damn it.
I know it'll come back to you.
Hopefully. But ladies, okay, we'll go ahead and move on to number 4. And this is an extremely big piece of it. Depending on where you are in the hyperfocus, there is a really good chance, if not a guarantee, that you're not taking very good care of yourself. So what happens when you don't take care of yourself? You feel like shit in all pieces of your life. So this means, are you drinking a lot? Are you eating crap food, tons of sugar, things like that?
Smoking a lot of pot. I don't know. It's legal in my state.
I don't know. Maybe pot smoking helps. I'm not a pot smoker, so I can't confirm or deny that. I have no idea. But let's just say there's a good chance you're not taking very great care of yourself. You're probably not getting a lot of movement. And I'm going to tell you, this is a biochemical clusterfuck for perpetuating the need to obsess and think about somebody constantly. You need a good biochemical flow going on in your body by the way you take care of yourself, by the connections that we were talking to earlier. So this is your perfect time. When something's not working out with a guy, that is a perfect opportunity to say, oh my gosh, this isn't working out. This is a perfect opportunity for me to really focus on myself and take exquisite care of myself because I am an adored woman.
And I am freaking worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, when you take better care of yourself, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's talking about being fucking perfect. Jen and I are not perfect, although we'd like to think we're perfect.
Perfectly imperfect, for sure.
Definitely. Okay. You don't have to be super thin. You don't have to have a certain BMI. You just need to do things for your body that biochemically support you and keep you from feeling like a hot fucking mess on top of everything that's already going on. So you're not allowed to take shit care of yourself. And you can baby step into this. I'm totally cool with that, but it has to happen. Absolutely 100% has to fucking happen.
Agreed.
You don't get another option here unless you just really like feeling like shit about a specific man for an indefinite period of time.
That is not a fun feeling. And agreed again, Jen, that biochemically, like you said, when you are taking care of yourself, if you're getting exercise, I don't care if it's just taking a walk down the street, if you go running, you go hiking, whatever you do that gets your endorphins going, that is going to set you up in such a better place to move past this hyper focus into hoper focus.
I love that.
I just think that's so cute.
That's fantastic. Final note on this, nature is a great place to do a lot of this because there's something very powerfully healing and powerful about being in nature that helps you connect into the grandness of life and the appreciation of life, and realizing that it's a very soothing place to be, to help you realize that everything is going to be okay, and that this too is going to be perfectly fine. If not, no, not even if not. And it actually will, if you give it the opportunity and face your hyper focus and decide to do something with it instead of just feeling like you're a victim of it. It's going to be an incredible opportunity for you to walk in our world and create magical dating experiences that you will never, ever be able to forget. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
Hyperfocus on a man is 95% habitual, which means you are the only one who has the power to change it.
Thank you, Lover Girl, for joining us on this romantic fairy godmama edition of Single Smart Female. Don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, as well as visit us at singlesmartfemale.com.
We'll talk to you next time.
And here's to you having everything you want in life and love. Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand and have been there before. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your heartbreak and love sickness. Let us help you do that today at thelovesickcure.com.